Hello, my name is John Scott, and welcome to this short introduction into our business process management solution. Managing business processes is an essential practice for any organization that wants to operate more effectively, reduce risk, and transform their business. Business process management is the documentation and management of processes that exist across your organization. And while it's very useful to understand what processes exist, processes don't work in isolation. By connecting processes up to the rest of the enterprise architecture, such as technology, people, data, and capabilities, it can now provide you with valuable insights into how the business works. For example, processes connected to business capabilities will help you prioritize changes and enhancements to processes that drive critical outcomes in order to meet organizational objectives. Processes connected to people and teams will give you clear visibility into key process roles, process utilization, as well as clear lines of responsibility and ownership, which will help facilitate better change management. And processes connected to systems and data, just like people, will highlight dependencies that processes have on systems, so when adapting and transforming the business, issues can be mitigated and risk can be reduced. We recognize that poor visibility and not understanding how processes connect into the broader organization can result in poor insights. And ultimately, that leads to poor decisions. Without a clear understanding of what the business does and how it achieves its outcomes, miscommunication between the business and IT often arises. Operational errors are common due to a lack of insight into the process and the impact of dependencies. This lack of understanding also puts key transformation programs and compliance initiatives at risk, as critical dependencies and the implications of change aren't really known. Overall, this leads to just a general lack of consistency and efficiency within the organization. Now, what we have done at Ardoq is bridge that gap between the business and IT by taking the enterprise architecture knowledge that exists within Ardoq and combining it with the process information of the business into one place, getting everybody on the same page and helping decision makers have better insights when trying to transform their organization. How we do this is by focusing on some key areas within the business process management solution, such as helping you understand what business processes exist within your organization, what technologies are used to deliver those processes, what processes enable business capabilities, how effective and efficient are those processes, who's responsible for them, and then what kind of data do those processes deal with. Now, let's jump into Ardoq to see what this looks like. This process management is all about getting a handle on and understanding what processes an organization has and how they connect into the rest of the enterprise architecture. Now, some organizations may already have process tools, and that's great. Here at Ardoq, we have out-of-the-box integrations into SAP Signavio, and that allows you to import process information from those tools into Ardoq so that you can then use Ardoq to connect everything up to other information that exists within Ardoq, such as technologies, people, capabilities, and data. If you don't have a process tool already, process information exists within static documents, right? You can use our Excel importer to get that information in easily. And lastly, if you don't even have the information within documents, right, and it exists within people's heads, you can use our broadcast and survey functionality to crowdsource the information and collaborate with your business stakeholders to get that info into Ardoq. Again, the whole point is to get the process information in and connect it into the other pieces so that you can derive and highlight and get good insights for better decision making. Now that we've got our process data into Ardoq, let's look at our pre-configured assets to see how they can help us answer those questions. So clicking into the Business Process Management Solution folder, we can see several pre-configured assets available to us, from broadcasts and surveys to viewpoints, presentations, reports, as well as dashboards. Clicking into our dashboards, these dashboards will really help us start to surface up and aggregate the data associated with the processes that we've imported. Highlighting different areas, giving us counts, giving us trend lines, showing where we have PII, showing us our level of automation, duration, maturity, et cetera. Other dashboards that we can leverage around the business process management are metrics and data governance. And these really focus in on, well, obviously the data governance is on our data quality and making sure that we have the data in place. And our metric dashboard focuses in on really highlighting the value that we're getting out of business process management. And so, for example, here we have the percent of the process library that's been reviewed and approved, really highlights that we have a good understanding of what is taking place. We have had people that have logged in, mapped out the process, have certified that this has been reviewed and it's an approved process, so that the data is, certifying that it's accurate and gives us a good confidence in the data that we have within Ardoq. Now, with a high level of confidence in our process data quality, we can begin to visualize and analyze the process data that we've got in Ardoq. The business process management presentation provides us with some key visualizations to help us answer the questions that we covered earlier. Questions like, what processes do we have within our organization? Who's responsible for them? What kind of technologies support them and help deliver them? We can go deeper and look at a detailed process view, highlighting different process metadata such as duration. We can highlight the data that's being used, the roles participating, and we can even show this in a process flow format. We can also highlight some of the metadata around process automation and articulating or highlighting which processes are manual processes or process activities versus automated process activities, giving us this percent automated score or value, which we can then use to highlight the percent automated versus the maturity of the process. All of this, again, and all of the visualizations within the presentation are there to help us answer these questions that we are trying to understand. Like I said, the questions are, what processes do I have within my organization? Who's responsible for them? What technology or data is used as part of the process? Do any of the processes have PII in them? And what processes help deliver capabilities? All of these and more are answered within this business process management presentation or the related dashboards that we have as well. So thank you for joining, and I hope that this has given you an idea of what to expect with the business process management solution and what it can do for you. Thank you.